in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Good night, everyone, and get ready because it's time for the late chip at the video store.
Late this morning.
Yeah.
It's completely my fault.
No,
I don't know
not at all.
if anyone else has the same heart attack when they log on to StreamYard and they see in the top left corner the little Wi-Fi symbol. It says Wi-Fi unstable. It's like, yes, I know, it's imitating my life at the moment, but Wi-Fi, I just need you to pull through. Wi-Fi, I need you to get your shit together. Because I have a to. That is very much what I've had this morning. So I very apologize that we're a little bit late. Because not only, it seems to be on the days that I'm already running late. Well, to be fair, I was here dead on 8:30. But then on top, it should be the updated Alanis Morissette ironic lyric when you're on time but when your life's together but your Wi-Fi is unstable, or something like that. I don't know. There's something there. Hey, hello, hi, video store people. I guess that was all just preamble that if I need to drop out, I'm dropping out. Like, I'm not having it today, unfortunately. So please, if you come on and I'm not responding, it's not because I don't like your pick. It's because
you're ignoring
going down.
Okay.
Mike, how are you today? I think I'm rambling and you're probably talking to me and my Wi-Fi's not working. So how are you?
I'm doing good. How about you? You're definitely delayed, but it's okay.
I know, I'm so delayed. Okay. Bonjour. I saw that come up. I don't know if I'm moving.
Oh no, that's good. Yeah, you're good then. I just put that up, so you're good.
I'm good.
Yeah. Let's continue while you're still good.
I'm gonna get my answer out of the way then, just in case I need to drop out.
Okay.
And if this is the one week, like, I'm so keen to see what people are gonna come on and say. Well, I'm keen every week, but like in particular, I've been really pumped for this one because I love my video games. And we've been talking about it a lot at work lately. And if you can tell from my signature, if you can tell any answer that I've ever come on with video games, how much I love the Legend of Zelda series. So for me, forever and always, Ocarina of Time, Legend of Zelda, like, my life changed in 1998, Mike. Like, this is a life-changing game event. Morning, Jake. I really hope that I'm moving because
yeah, you're good. Just keep going. Just keep going. You're good.
keep going.
Yeah,
okay.
You're good.
Okay. In 1998, when my life changed, when we brought home a Nintendo 64 and a shiny gold cartridge of Ocarina of Time, in the post I put on, like, are you so blinded by nostalgia goggles that nothing else would change it? And this is the one for me. As I sort of said, thanks, Azaro. It just pushed forward so much of video games. So I remember playing, like, my first consoles was, we had Sega Genesis and my cousins had Super Nintendo, but this is like the first console that was bought for me. And so to have Legend of Zelda on there, like, it was just absolutely mind-blowing being able to be this character, the world. Like, I still go back. I've bought this on every iteration that this has been on because I just love visiting the world. That I can just run around or I can jump on Epona. I love the music. The music is enduring. Epona's song, like, you still go to stables in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom and they're playing Epona's song. So Koji Kondo just absolutely smashed it with this score. The setting, the lore building, sometimes just like loading up a save file just to fight Ganondorf again, that 3-phase boss fight. I think I said Z target killers. I have my ocarina. Jane's blowing my spot for when we do best video game merch, but that's okay. Yes, I still play like my blue ocarina and play some Song of Time and Lost Woods and things like that. But I like how enduring it is because I'm very lucky to be able to talk to like some of my students and they go back and they're able to play Ocarina of Time on the expansion pack, and they get to come up to me and say like how amazing it is. And it's just, I think the legacy and is enduring. I think the gameplay still holds up. I just, nothing will ever bump this from my personal opinion of this just being the best game ever made. Mike, what are your thoughts on this one?
Oh yeah, I love the hell out of the game. I played it all the time. It was honestly, actually, yeah, I think it is the last Zelda game I actually played. Because I stopped having regular Nintendos after that. So it makes sense. Yeah, I think that was the last one I played. I absolutely loved it though.
Brooklyn's trying to make it rain on screen. if lightning starts crackling, my Wi-Fi goes out and blaming Brooklyn. You guys, thank you so much for already jumping on our chat. Please click our link. I really want to see as many people on screen as possible for this one, because I love this question. Is just really going to be so indicative of people's gaming history and sort of, I reckon, probably what they either grew up with or what's happening on now. So yeah, Mike, who have we got?
We got Payson.
What's up? I was not expecting to be first. How is everyone?
Good. How you going? Where are we on location today, darling?
Currently I have the house to myself, so I am in my living room, and I was just watching a movie. So yeah.
What is your pick for the #1 game of all time?
Gosh, there are so many ways I could take this. And Kelly, your choice made it a little easier because, like you, my favorite video game franchise is The Legend of Zelda. And while I go back and forth whether this entry is my personal favorite, I think the two best entries that represent the pinnacle of gaming are Ocarina of Time and the choice I'm going to make, which is Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, I think it came out in the perfect time in my life. I was 19 years old. The Switch was the first console I ever bought. The first day it came out, I remember it was midnight in Arizona in March. It was so much fun. It was the only time I ever did not go to class that day because I was in college when that game came out. I straight up skipped class. I did not tell my parents. Mom, Dad, if you're watching this, you could get mad at me all you want. It's the only time I ever did that because they were working, and I just played that game nonstop. I just think of all, I think Breath of the Wild changed how we look at open world games. Like, there are so many open world games where I just feel like I'm just walking around just like an empty land, and I think Breath of the Wild is the pinnacle of like exploration in that open world where I just want to go and just find new cool things. I want to go and find those shrines. I want to go and find those Korok seeds. Like, obviously with Tears of the Kingdom, you unfortunately can't crucify any Koroks like you can in Tears of the Kingdom. But Breath of the Wild, like you still go and find those Korok seeds. And just all the towns, like I love Hateno Village. I love Gerudo Valley. I love Terrytown, that side quest. I think is incredible. One of my favorite relationships between Link and Zelda. The story is mainly told through like the lore, which I think is incredible. Just the whole mechanic of you can climb anything. Like, as long as it's not raining, you can go and climb anything, and it makes traversing this world so much fun. I just love Breath of the Wild with all my heart, and I think if we were to talk about what I think is maybe the greatest video game of all time, Breath of the Wild is one that I think you can very much say is one of them.
I super agree. And I remember, like, we came to it a little bit later. We came to it in 2020 during the pandemic, Mum and I. And so because I wasn't going to work, we would sit for 8 hours of like my work day and play Breath of the Wild.
It sounds like it's a great pandemic game. Like, that's a game where you can just get lost in.
Obviously, we heard the hype for years at this point, like seeing like all the Game of the Year, 5 stars, like all the just absolute hype. Yeah, when you said do the Korok seeds, Mum and I we're not on that page. That was painful at the end, but that's okay. But anyway, we booted it up. And when we had to like find swords and they would break and I had no hearts and I was getting a lot of game over, my mum and I were just sort of looking at each other the first couple hours going, are we missing something? Like, what is going on here? Why don't we like this? It was a real steep curve because we've come from Ocarina of Time onwards, and we know how our games go and find our dungeons and do all that. It took us a really long time to get on board, and then once we did, and once you could really start exploring that world, as you sort of said, and then the blood moons come in and you can kill things for armor and all that sort of stuff. Once you find those tips and tricks and get to it, we're playing Tears of the Kingdom. Mom's like, we have no village. We need to get to a village, Kelly, because that's our thing. Like, that's our safe places. Yes, I agree. Like the mechanics, and it really did deliver on the promise of what an open world game is. Because at least you still had your side quests and your adventures and your missions, so you had direction. We're people who like not to be completely like on a rail track, but momentum. Like, where are we going? What are we doing? All that. Hands up if you need a Google to find all the crocs. Mum was just like, okay, here's our coordinates here. Like, it was great. Mike, did you ever get a chance to look at any Breath of the Wild gameplay?
Yeah, I actually watched some gameplay of it, and I really enjoyed it. So I've looked forward to actually playing it one day.
Faison, thank you for coming on and giving us your hands today. I always love chatting Zelda with you, darling.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Mike. Have a great night.
Thank you, Faison.
Missed as in like the computer version, like the point and clicky sort of one, because I remember that one as a kid. If you haven't yet, click our link and jump on. Save me from my bad Wi-Fi. I need people to come on and give their answers in case my Wi-Fi is playing up.
You're good. You're good.
That is such a travesty, Nazaro. That is what Zelda just happens to do. Is like when they're jumping consoles, you get something on the older ones. Just not worth having it on that. If you can't jump on, at least throw some answers in the chat, like, because I just really want to see. That's what I thought we were talking about, Miss, like MYS, like the point and click, because I get that, because that's like some of the first like puzzly sort of games I remember seeing on the computer. That would be awesome. Mike, who do we have?
We got Sean.
Hey, Sean. How you doing, darling?
Doing great. Yourself?
Doing good.
Right. There's a delay.
I'm hoping okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
know. All
right. Sean, give us your answer, sweetheart.
My answer is Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, that's a great choice.
Straight to the point. Red Dead Redemption 2, just from a narrative perspective, is so impactful in so many different ways. The bond that you wind up creating with your camp members and the different characters that you get to play as, full spoiler on this one, you play as 2 different characters at certain points throughout the game. You wind up just feeling such a kinship with these people that by the end of the story and then the prologue, if you're not like weeping like a baby, I don't know if you have any sort of heart. Like, for example, Arthur Morgan is just my favorite protagonist in any media ever, like literally ever. I think that the guy is just such a beautifully written character, especially because you just see him change over the course of the entire game until finally, he gets his TB diagnosis, and he's just, you feel that clock ticking down on it. And by the time he makes his last stand and your horse gets shot and everything winds up just exploding in that one gigantic final stand for him, you're just absolutely heartbroken. His final ride back to camp is one of like the most emotional moments in all of gaming. And it just shows what the medium can wind up doing. And that's not even touching on like the shooting mechanics, the exploration, the fact that it's just, or a more PG troops. Yeah. Screw like Micah Bell. Absolutely. Absolute piece of shit. But no, it's just including all the exploration elements, because it is very almost kind of similar to Breath of the Wild, and the fact that it's like you can explore so much of this world. You can find things that you never thought you would. Like there's a ghost train in Lemoyne, and there's, night folk that'll come out. There's a fucking meteor that's crashed, and a UFO will wind up zipping away. It's amongst all the amazing dramatic moments and the best voice acting in all of gaming by far. You get these wild, wacky side things that'll wind up happening. You can find a vampire. It's like there's no end to the game, basically. And it's just, I don't think that there's ever been a game quite like it in terms of what it's able to accomplish just across the board. So yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 is my answer.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Delayed because I could hear all of that.
You're good.
And I want to say just how amazing I think that answer is, because I was going to bring up the comparison to Breath of the Wild as well, just like on the expansiveness, like of just being able to walk in this world and be completely thematic and go through it all. And I just love your answer that that we're pushing video games forward as this medium of characters that touch our hearts and our souls, because we invest so many hours in it. So I will always love an RPG game where I can be put in a character's shoes and make relationships with other things. And if I walk away feeling like I've spent time with people, but I've been playing video games, I know that sounds so bad, but that's what I mean. Like, as this character that I've built this little world and been immersed in. I just think that's amazing. Mike, what do you think about this one?
Oh yeah, absolutely love it. I think the visuals are insane. They're amazing. It's like going through a Western movie the entire time, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Sean, thank you for coming on and giving us your pick this evening. That's amazing.
Thank you, Sean.
Yeah. I love that we're getting a lot of chat tonight about that. Alice says GTA Vice City just for the soundtrack. Every now and again, we'll play something in the car and Alan will know all the words, and I know exactly why he knows all the words to a certain song. And all I need to do is go to GTA. Yeah. Mike, who have we got?
We got Brooklyn.
Hey. All right. My internet is also cutting out a little bit, so this could be rough for both of us. This is a fucking hard question because there's so many. This is a different answer every day. If we're going off of what I have tattooed on me, we're going with Super Mario World, or we're going with Portal 2. If we're going off of what I think is just an overall atmospheric enhancement, I would go with Tetris Effect. That's a beautiful game. But I'm going to stay in the trend of open world games and go slightly different. One of my favorite series of games growing up was Tony Hawk's Pro Skaters. Loved that series. Really loved Underground. But then skating games became a bit more realistic with Skate. And then Skate hit its pinnacle with Skate 3, and this is the game that I'm picking. Skate 3 is it's a game that almost it gives you the culture of a skater. But and the reason that I say that is that you are checking out things that aren't even necessarily missions. I've 100% of the game, done all the missions and whatnot. And there's still part of me that's hey, this rail by the library, I want to still try and go do that trick on it. I think the game is also just it's incredibly broken, and you still get the enhancement of it all with Hall of Meath, this very arcade style, so you can play it so many different ways. If you understand what my name is today, you also understand the game. Jason Lee voice acts as Coach Frank, so he does all the tutorials and stuff, and he's fucking hilarious. I always think of him whenever he pronounces the word ambulance. He says that all the time, and it gets me every time. But it's it's a fun game to listen to music and also just chill out. It's a very mellow game, and just the longevity of it. I believe they are making Skate 4. It's in development. But man, a game that has just aged so well.
That sounds brilliant. I haven't played any of the Skate series, so you're selling me on it. Not a pick I thought would come up today, so I've been really excited to see any unconventional picks, and that's one. So I love that. Mike, have you played any of this?
I played the Tony Hawk games. I haven't played the Skate games. So
What was your favorite Tony Hawk game?
Probably the Tony Hawk 2.
Yeah,
I love Tony Hawk.
2's pretty great. Yeah. Also, if we're talking about Tony Hawk, we have to talk about the soundtracks. Unreal. How I was introduced to Ace of Spades. So.
Absolutely, those soundtracks are legacy stuff. They've got their Spotify playlist of it. We play that quite frequently, actually. Brooklyn,
Thank you for having me.
Give us your answer tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Brooklyn.
If you haven't jumped on yet, hit up our link. I'm keen. A lot more recent games than I thought we would see, which is really interesting. Like, I am someone who definitely loves their retro gaming, so I thought we would be seeing the argument for a few of the older ones, but we have just had so many leaps and bounds in gaming. Mike, you haven't given us your answer yet. Whereabouts do you lie on this argument? What is the number one game of all time?
Yeah, this one was a little more difficult for me. I kept going back and forth on a couple choices, but I landed with Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I think it's an incredible 2D platformer. I absolutely love Alucard and having to go through the entire castle and use like bats and the mist and the werewolf. But then that's not even the best part. Best part is when I was first playing as a little kid, I get to the end of the game, you beat Belmont, and then the fucking castle turns upside down, and you realize you got to fucking play this goddamn game again. And I went, this is incredible. And now you have to play the game all over the fuck again, but have different bosses, different characters come up. It was incredible. It's an incredible world. I love the music to it. I just love the atmosphere of it.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, Castlevania games, like after SNES, tended to be so PlayStation based, so I never got my chance to play Symphony of the Night, but I always like see it. I've seen a bit of gameplay and things like that, and it always makes lists, and it just looks so cool. It's one I would definitely like to have a play off, because then they came back with like DS and stuff like that, but they just for some reason really messed around with Nintendo, and it's frustrating. But yes, the Castlevania games in general just like have great atmosphere, great soundtracks. I love a side scroller. That's definitely my jam. So this is a cool pick. I definitely thought you were going to go on the Super Mario World spectrum, because the fact that we've had no Mario game come up so far is I'm a little bit disappointed in myself that it's taken 20 minutes into the show for the name Mario to be added. Mike, give us a rundown of what is some of your top Mario games.
Oh, it's Super Mario World for sure as my number one. I think it's an incredible game, and that's another one where you can literally beat it and then play it again and have new shit happen. And it's so great how much they put into that game. And you see all the speed runs that happen. You see there's many ways to beat that game. There's many things you can do with that people have discovered. They create their own levels now and put them in. It's incredible what they've done with that.
I love Super Mario World because I think it's the first time like I've played a game where it had like secret entrances and exits, and like you had to find like, because you know where the yellow button is, like that's really easy.
Yeah.
Go up the ladder, it's there. But the other buttons, like if you're not taking, I think it's like land 2, level 2, if you're not like finding the secret pathways to then get into the button area, and just all like going down the pipes and the different games you can play, like the jumping up to the bricks, or if there's just gonna be coins there. Like I just love all the little extra mechanics. You can play it on a surface level, but the point is to replay levels and find different alternate ways to play. So I love this. Mike, who have we got?
We got the man, the myth, the legend. We got Jake.
We got Jake.
Hello, everyone. I'm here.
Morning. What is your pick for the number one game of all time?
Can I just say this is hard? This is like harder than most topics that you guys have picked.
Yeah.
Because I was like watching the episode, and I'm like, oh, this is good, and I'm like trying to think, and I've got like 3 answers. I'm like, well, when I get to my actual definitive answer, I'll come on. And I was like, I'm still only got 3, and then I was like, I need to just join, and hopefully one will stick. But I cannot make my decision. So I'm gonna just keep talking until I figure out what the one I'm gonna go with. It's hard because I've got like a nostalgia for one topic, of my answers. I've got what I think is a really fun game that everyone I think loves, and another, and then just one that is just like something that I would pick that I think is the deconstruction of the idea of the game. And so I'm still trying to figure out which one I want to go with. I think I'm going to go with the second. The second one's easy. Fuck, I'm going to go with
Jake, in the time it's taken you to explain this, just tell us all 3, love.
Okay. Well, I'll just say, yeah. So, I mean, I was going to pick, honestly, the one that I had for the longest time was going to be Crash Bandicoot, the first one. I mean, basically picked a Zelda game because it's his favorite franchise. Crash is my favorite franchise. I think the first one's great. It's like Crash is like the first mascot of the 3D era, like as far as like the gaming sort of time that he came out through, like 96, I think it was. So I really love what he came from. I also wanted to say the Stanley Parable, because that is a game about games and the mechanics of it. I thought that's a really fun way of how it showcases sort of the ideas that a game can possess, and sort of are you in control of a game. I thought that was really fun. But the one I'm going to go with, the one that I'm actually going to go with, that I think everyone loves, I'm going with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I had to pick, I'm going with a Smash Bros. Game. I'm going with arguably the best one, just because it's the most recent and they just improve upon every installment. Ultimate is so much fun. I remember playing it at a friend's. As far as like, if we're talking that era, like the PlayStation games, I think I agree with you. But Crash 3 Wards is the best one. But what I really love about Ultimate, like when I was before I got the game, I was at a friend's place. It was a friend's birthday party, and he had like 20 of his mates over, and it was just 8 players, and we were just playing all the night for like 7-8 hours, and it was just so much fun. He hadn't unlocked all the characters yet, so as we were playing, we were getting more characters, and that just made it even more fun, because whoever wins, that's the one person who gets to play. So we're all just cheering him, and we're all drinking, and it was just so much fun to see that shit go down. But it's such a fun game, because I like fighting games, but that one, there's such a specific idea of what it can do with bringing all these characters. I remember finding out about the game. I think the first game that I ever knew was Brawl, and that's sort of, I have like a soft spot for that game, because that introduced so many interesting ideas, and the Subspace Emissary is like such an epic story mode. I really enjoy that. But Ultimate just gets everything better and improves upon everything that they've put into the game. All the characters. I love crossover games like that. I don't know what else to say. It's Smash Bros. We all love it. It's fun. Smash Bros. Man, I think that's just one of those games that's going to be remembered.
I agree. And Smash Bros. Has just been a great franchise that I've loved to see grow with each new console. Because I remember it coming out on like 64 and playing that to death, and like 3 stock level 9s, and like you only had 4 unlockable characters. And as you sort of said, it's the crossover and all. So being able to have Pikachu versus Fox, like especially on that 64 era when it was like just the key big people, and then each new release is like, who are they going to add? What are they going to add? Absolutely. What levels? Everything. So Ultimate, I think, is a really cool way, because it's the absolute pinnacle of it all coming together. Like that roster is insane.
Well, nowadays, like Ultimates, I think it's like 60 plus characters or something crazy. Even like characters who are like basically like Peach and Daisy and Simon and Richter, like they're basically just they're the same type of characters.
Yeah.
Coins, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I forgot the name. But yeah, just like that sort of the idea of just like, oh yeah, we're gonna have Sonic in our game, and Sonic can fight Mario now. Like just the ideas of what they can add, and like there are certain characters I really want. It's just so much fun, and because it's just every type of game character, like even racing games. Like who would have thought Captain Falcon would be one of like the biggest, most popular characters of the series. It's so fun. Like I remember playing him for the first time. Going, this is fun. What game's he from? And then realized it's just like F-Zero. It's just racing. I was like, not what I was expecting. Same with Star Fox as well. Like it's good shit. Before we, I was going to ask, who do we all main at? Because I don't think we've asked this question before. Like, who's our mains?
I'm thinking about asking that in a question 1 week, so I'm gonna put a pause in that. 1 week when I'm feeling really niche, but I need as many Smash fans to come on. Because if I throw that question out, I need everyone who plays to actually come on and say, because that is just one of the more niche questions I want to ask. But I think that is like going to be a fun time. I've kept a few characters from the 64 days that I just will never give up. So
That's fair.
But I like what you're saying as well. It's like a big celebration of Nintendo, because I like all the trophies. I like reading, I would read all those blurbs. Smash Bros. Has given me my Nintendo history, basically, and just developed my love for it. So
even through like the items and stuff, you've got like I'm trying to think of like specific ones, but just ones that you never would have thought, like there's the one cannon gun, which I never thought would be like an actual thing. Oh, that's actually one of the accessories that you would use, like one of the games that you like those type of shooters. I'm trying to think of like specific ones, but just
like all the weird Japanese dancing games, like the games that never left Japan that are at least getting things in it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, especially for the trophies as well. Like the trophies, because when you activate them, it's like it's a character from another game and all this sort of stuff. And that's how I like what you were saying. Kelly, like you just learn through like who these characters are from and what they can do, and I just remember thinking these are just great. I love when, oh my god, what's his name? What's the Mr. the Brain guy, the on the Nintendo DS, like the
Brain H, that guy, the doctor.
Was it Brain H?
And he's like
the doctor, like
yeah.
He shows up and it's just great, and he'll just throw like numbers and multiplications at you, and it's just like it's fun to see because I remember playing that game on the DS. And then it eventually, in coming back, and I was just like, dude, good shit like that. Also, Waluigi, we gotta start making him a trophy. We gotta bring him.
We need Waluigi as a character.
It's like number
Just
one.
bring him in. Mike, what's your history with Smash Bros?
Oh, N64 all the way. I played the hell out of it on N64 and loved it.
No, that's it. I was just about to ask you, mate, but I'm like, oh no, that's a question for another time.
We're gonna come back to that. We'll put a pin in that. In a few weeks, we'll come back, I reckon.
Oh, shit, I was gonna ask, what can I ask that's like not a main? Like, what's your favorite stage? Or should we hold that for the main?
What's your favorite stage?
Well.
Let's do stage. We'll have to do the Smash Bros episode, I think. Give us your
that's gonna be
main.
Yeah.
Give us all that sort of thing.
Favorite game, favorite boss.
Jake, thanks for coming on.
Bosses and shit.
Yeah.
So I'll stop talking now.
Jake, no, I love it. But let's save it for the episode because now I'm a little bit jealous. Like we'll have to do an episode. We'll have to do a late shift Smash Bros episode. Thanks for coming on. I'm gonna give you
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Jake.
Bye. I want to go back to a few ones we had. We had Brooklyn saying the cape's the best Mario item. Strong agree. Cape is awesome. Melissa, her husband loves Dark Souls. Glutton for punishment. I will never be able to play any of the Dark Souls or those types of games because I am a control thrower. Jane can attest I can throw a hissy fit when it is not going my way playing video games. So I have not put that upon her yet or myself. Brooklyn, thoughts from the Nintendo Direct? I mean, all we're hearing is just Mario at this point, Mario Wonder. Like the amount of memes I'm seeing at this point is insane. But I'm very excited for Persona 5 Tactics because Persona is another one of my series that lives in my heart. So anything from being able to be with the P5 crew again makes me very happy. I agree with Allard, Crash Team Racing over Crash Bandicoot, but Jake brings up a good point. Warped. We're loving some Smash Bros stuff. Smash Bros Draft would be a really fun episode, actually. That's a cool thing to do. I want to throw out a few things before we head off. Oh, if you just as my Wi-Fi is going. No, I'm good. Yes. Tetris, Super Mario Bros. 3. A Link to the Past. I'm picking on Nintendo things that sucks. Final Fantasy 7 for JRPGs and changing all that. World of Warcraft even for like just MMOs, like things that really push forward a certain playstyle or genre. I'm gonna throw those sorts of things out. But you have been a chat MVP tonight, love. This is you're the cherry on top of the chat tonight. Have I missed anything? If I've missed something, hit me up in the comments. Put it on either a Facebook post or put it underneath the YouTube. I'm trying to talk so quickly in case I'm just clear at this point in time. Yes. If you haven't been on one of our shows, if you're catching us on the repeat, please try and catch us live because we do have a really good time on here. If you want to be on the show, all you have to do is show up and click our link when we post it in the chat. If you've never been on our show before, you come on a Friday night, we post our link in our online chat, and we just want to see as many faces as we can. So thank you everyone who came on tonight. You made the topic dream I'd been hoping for. So I always really love a video game topic. It hits my heart. And Mike, you're great as always. We didn't even have our scroll. Buy our shit. We have new late shift merch. It's great.
Yeah, go
Am
buy
I clear?
that. Yeah, you're
this
good.
Has been the most stressful episode for me.
Let's just go. Let's call it out before.
Go.
See you,
Game over.
We will see you next time.
And we're clear.